like to share with you from the Rebbes Father a beautiful explanation on Chai Elul, the birth of the Alter Rebbe. It's known, the Rebbes Father brings, that the name of a person brings out the whole teichen, the whole theme of the person, the mission of the person. In the case of the Alter Rebbe, the name is Shneor Zalman, two names. So we have to understand why it's two names. Everything is medouik. And also, we know the word Shneor is really two words, Shneor, two illuminations, two lights. Another interesting thing the Rabbi Father brings out, that the word Shneor has 6 letters exactly. Shin, Nun, Yud, Aleph, Vav, Resh. Everything is medouik. The name Zalman is more of a Yiddish name. So the word Shneor is Hebrew, Lashon Kodesh. Zalman is more of a Targum name. Everything is medouik. So the Rebbe's Father explains, based on what the Arizal brings in Parshas Vaschanon, and he explains the mitzvah of Shnayim Mikra ve'echot Targum. There's a mitzvah from every Yid, every Shabbos, to review the Parsha twice, the Psukim, twice Mikra, Shnayim Mikra, ve'echot Targum, and once the Targum. What's the reason of it? And the Rebbe's Father explains like this. And I'm going to give a simple mashal of a teacher who comes into a class, or a parent who wants to affect a child. You see an interesting mashal. When a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old child sees a mother lighting Shabbos candles, it's not only the child watching the mother taking the match, lighting the fire, the candle. It's more the warmth, the chayis, the neshama, the soul that goes into that act, what the child picks up. A teacher comes into class, if it just does the motions, just says the Chumash or the Mishnayos or the Gemara or the Maimah, that's one thing. But the real success and what a teacher has to give over is the feeling that goes into it. So when a teacher gives a class, and there's also, when in the time of the shir, when it gives over the knowledge to the students, it's with gishmak, it's with feeling, it's with excitement, then that is the proper way to be mashpia. A child will pick up the same thing from a parent, not so much only what they do, but more the feeling that goes into it, the hidu mitzvah, so to say, how they do the mitzvah. And that in general is the difference between Nigla the Torah and Chassidus, Pnimis HaTorah. And that's the Shnei Or, 2 lights. In Nigla the Torah, if a person just learns Gemara, Halacha, it just tells you the motions, what you have to do, how you make Kiddush, how you have a Seder, how you keep Shabbos. But it doesn't really give you the reasons of the mitzvahs, the taimei mitzvahs, or what's the background of a relationship of a Yid to Hashem, why Hashem created the world, what we accomplished with Torah mitzvahs. All that is discussed in Pnimis HaTorah. And it explains every mitzvah in detail, the background and the reason for every single detail of a mitzvah, of the mitzvahs. So when a person only learns Gemara, only learns Nigla Torah and Halacha, it could be very dry. It just does the motions. But in order to get the chayis, the feeling, the neshama, the soul that goes into the act, that you need chassidus. So it comes out, you have over here 3 parts. You have over here the actual act that the person wants to affect the world. And then you have, together with that, the full power of his emotions, of his heart, the chayis, the feeling that goes into it, that goes into the act. And then with that, he affects the world. So you have the world, then you have the person. In the person, you have two parts. You have the actual doing, which could be dry sometimes, and then you have the feeling, the neshama that goes into it, the soul. And this is what Arizal writes. In order for a person to be matzliach, you have to have shnaya mikra. Torah has two parts. The mikra. There is nigla the Torah and this pnimis Torah. If you have both them together, that means when you go out into the world, you put on tefillin, or you reach out to be Mekayah of another Yid, and you'll do it with both qualities. You'll have the act itself that you're doing, the ashpor itself, and then also you're going to have the feeling with it. Then you'll be able to have Targum, which shows on the outside world, the 70 nations of the world, and you'll be able to affect the world. And that's why the Arizal explains, is in a nutshell, why we have twice Mikra and once Targum. And with this, the Rebbes Father explains, is exactly also the great neshama chadosh of the Alter Rebbe, that his mission in this world was Shneor, Sai Nigla the Torah, Sai Pnimis HaTorah. As the Rebbe also explains, he is the author of Sai the Shulchan Aruch, and also wrote the Tanya, the Pnimis HaTorah. If we have both qualities together, we know what to do. That's Nigla the Torah. And also we have the Chassidus that gives us the warmth, the excitement, the feeling, the neshama, the chayis that goes into it. Then you will have what's called, so you have the Shneor, the two then you will have Zalman. Zalman is the words Lizman. That's where the Eidish to put himself into time and place, which symbolizes the world in a concealed way, where Hashem put himself into teva, into nature, into time and space. And the way you affect the world and elevate it is through Shneor. So Shneor and Zalman tells exactly the whole theme of what the Alter Rebbe wanted to accomplish. And this, the Rebbe's father explains why Shneor has 6 letters. 6 letters is referring to the emotional feelings, the 6 midas of a person. We know that we have Chesed, Gvur, Teferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesoit. When you have Niglech, Chassidus together, then your whole heart will be permeated in the act, and your whole being will be involved in doing the mitzvah and affecting the world. So then you will have the Shneor that will affect the Zalman, the Lizman, and when you have the Chibur, when you have the connection and the bonding of these two elements together, then we will have the ultimate coming of Mashiach speedily nowadays.